well, maybe it'll come out better if I'm pushing myself to make it, right? For such a long time, I was enraged. Screaming in a pillow just didn't do it, you know? I was creative. I was non-violent. I said, in the face of this parental alienation, worst violence I could never think of, let alone be a part of, in the face of this worst violence, I'm going to become the most non-violent, angelic person you ever saw. In the face of this deceit, in the face of these little princesses and princes of deception that made the unfortunate choice to be that. Oh, I'm sure they wish they didn't make that choice now, but they can't really have that conversation with themselves. What they've done is too insane. They have to lie about it. And that's the thing. I'm so glad that in the face of these insane liars, I became insanely honest, right? Because in an abusive, unjust, let's say, situation, you're gonna come away saying, oh, you know what? That was not fair. But okay, you wanna play unfair? All right. I'll be the most unfair person you ever saw. You're gonna step on me? Oh, just wait. Wait till you see the way I step on people, right? There's that prototype. And then there's the prototype where it's like, all right, that was vicious. I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to remember that. And I don't even want to look at the people that were in my life. They could be innocent victims of it too. And I don't even want to see them because it brings back the memories of that. There's that prototype as well, right? I would say people people that I care about immensely follow that prototype, you know. And that one of them told me, you know, I'm a little cold-blooded. I can switch it off. You know, if it starts to resemble what I suffered from, I can quickly just switch it off. I don't want to go there. I do not want to go there, right? That's prototype 2. Prototype 3 is I'm not going to put up with anybody stepping on anybody anywhere around me ever in my life. Prototype 3, right? You're gonna be one of those at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day, 50 Cent's oldest kid at 30, it's the fault, I mean, that's extreme. It's the fault of everybody that was near this person. It was the fault of everybody that was near this situation that he continues to be with this ... And I'll let you put the blanks in because what I would say is accurate, precise terminology that I use for these people will actually have people say, oh, that's the bad guy, because I call out an injustice in an accurate way. That makes me worse than the people doing child abuse, extreme psychological child abuse, as the one person they're supposed to be able to trust. No. What sense does that make? But you know, there was 1,000 people around that child abuse situation. And when I say Marquise Jackson, Shaniqua Toxins, I'm talking about 50 Cent's oldest kid and her mother. This is a 30-year-old that should be a Jedi general captain in this billionaire empire that his dad has built, coming back from the deathbed, right? So many young men respect this story, respect this road, respect this man. 50 Cent would love to be a general in his empire, but the one young man who was birthrighted into that, he can't even fill those shoes because of the daily extreme psychological abuse he received from his mother. And he's an entitled genius. He knows better than the Jedi billionaire who built the empire, while in reality he is a skillless young man that's been robbed of all that learning in business, in character, in merit, and he's been lied to and weaponized against that character and merit, and told that he's better than it, that he's entitled to receive from it, that he's a parasite of it. He should be a parasite of it, and because he can't be a parasite of it, as he was programmed to think he should be, his dad is now the enemy. What? Like, You know, it's very, very basically, obviously unnatural and unfortunate what's happened to this young man. This woman should be in child abuse. It's in jail for child abuse. It's happening in front of all of us, right? It's very, very unnatural, very, very easy. All you gotta, I mean, imagine explaining this to a caveman. It's just like, oh, that's your dad, but you are disrespectful to him. You have bad things to say, and you cannot integrate with what he's doing. Whoa, what kind of disease does that? What kind of sickness is that? Stay the f away from me, whatever that is. Don't let me or anyone I know catch it. And I bet you Encino Man would not leave his house for months. He would have PTSD. He would be like, whoa, what in this world is floating around that I can't see that could do that to a 30-year-old? But all these 30-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 24-year-olds, they're entitled, glib geniuses that know everything, and they're disrespectful to the one person, the insanely excellent person that could help them. And here's the dynamic, right? That insanely excellent person attracted the parasite that doesn't want a stupid person. They knew that person was a superstar. They knew that person was a super dad, and that they'd never compete character-wise, so they had to slaughter that relationship. They had to wreck the ex and get the checks, because what else are they going to do? They oriented themselves as a parasite their whole life, and they're going to be that. They have they spent all their talent points on manipulation, and they're master manipulators. I can tell you right now there's a story in there where a house burned down, and I'm the pyromaniac. I've burned down so much stuff in my life, right? I'm famous for it. True story. And I shouldn't be saying that. It comes at a cost to say that. But let me just tell you, I can tell you right away, he didn't do that, and she did burn that house down because she was gonna lose it, and because she's a child abuser. When you're making millions of dollars and you're successful and you just want to have a relationship with your kid, you're not going to burn down any houses. But when you're a child abuser and you want to frame a man, like all the trouble Amber Heard went to for Johnny Depp, and they didn't even have kids together. But Amber Heard has a little kid around her. They didn't even have kids together, and he testified. The worst part about it is she was coming between me and my kids. That's insane. Yeah? This is an action-packed channel, by the way. And it's raw and it's real. And we just come to you really kind of to just let you know we've got a better life. You messed up. You should not have done what you did. You know? And now you're gonna watch me rise to the top just like that. Just like, no, I'm talking to the person who alienated and abused and gave Elizabeth Stockholm syndrome, whatever the 30 version. You know, why they don't even identify with the extreme selfishness that they are a product of, the extreme deception. Imagine if 50 Cent's oldest kid's mother would have just been a loyal soul. All right, we're not together no more, but you are what you are, the big bad bear. And irregardless of the temptation that they give me to turn the whole government against you and all this stuff, I'm gonna respect you because you earned it. You got strong for real, and we might not agree enough to live together, but I'm at least gonna give you the respect that you deserve. She will be a millionaire now too. Those two would both be in golden situations, but instead you're gonna watch them have the worst lives, smiling about it, acting as if they got good lives. The body keeps the score too. They're gonna age significantly. She already looks like she could be 50 Cent's mom, the 50 Cent's kid's mom. Very soon she's gonna look like she should be that kid's grandmother, and he's gonna look like 50 Cent's brother. That's how it works in those types of horrible situations. And you know, I'm happy about that because I decided that I was going to tell the truth and do the right thing every time, and more so off of this. My mom's the same thing. I had a Freudian slip. They're both Amber Heards, and that what I mean is if you don't care enough to do the right thing when you've been entrusted with a child's heart, and you do the wrong thing and you exploit that love and use them to destroy their father. Yo, that's soul. To not care enough to not do that is soullessness. That is not having a soul. That is how you can do that. All right, and they got there. They pre-game. They prepared. They trained. This is why I say training is so important. And the way you train, how you do it, is who you are. It's just the letters are switched. But it really is like that. How you do it is who you are. If you're a liar, you're a liar. You are a liar. If you're telling lies, you're a liar. You can't be doing that. If you love your people and you lie to their face every single day to make them destroy their best relationships, and the whole time it's a best relationship. The whole time that's a super dad. The whole time you're robbing them of a Jedi adventure that they would have been way better without you and way better with that guy, and you just hold on for dear life now through the child's adulthood, and you never let them grow, and you keep them as a life raft, and you weaponize them till the end. And they will be a little loyal soldier. They better be, just like Joe Rogan, who's got a dad and an entire family that says, my dad is not what you're saying your dad is. Same dad, right? Another half family. And he's like, well, I'm okay with what has happened because there's nothing I could have done. There's nothing I could have done. And it's so true. If a woman wants to use her child like this and weaponize them as their own personal property and play toy, well, they've already done it. What I'm saying is you better get away from that very quietly and stealthily. They've poisoned you metaphysically. They will poison you physically. They will set you up. They will get you hemmed up. They want you to lose your ability to travel and be free so that you can stay under their thumb. I'm telling you. Again, I did not want to make this video. Maybe it's better because of that. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, I only came on here to show you my beautiful life. If it's a small jealous mind that you've got, fry it. If it's an open-minded, loving mind that you've got, help you learn that these conflicts were manufactured by deceptive control freaks that do not care. And this is from government to parent. You have to understand, this person used you. And if you don't give them what they deserve off of that, if you don't give the situation what it deserves off of that, well, I guess maybe you do deserve the situation. Maybe you don't deserve a dad. Maybe this was your test and you just can't break the trap and get the Jedi adventure. Most every single kid I was in with could not, actually. They were unable to do that. So that could be you. That could be you too, It very well could be. And if it is, well, I'm sorry. But it certainly didn't have to be. And you'll be a product of your choices, your decisions, your discipline, your strength, your ability to set boundaries, and put people in their